welcome everyone to the Nuckles87 Sonic 2 Hot Take stream. I am your host, Nuckles87, and I will be giving my hot takes on the Sonic 2 movie. These are going to be very spoilery, okay? Very extremely spoilery. I am not going to hold anything back. Whoops. Okay. Sorry. Whoops. Sorry. Wrong. I was trying to send my message and went to the wrong Discord. Anyway. But, so yeah, like, I'm going to be just talking about the movie as if no one cares about what goes on in it. So if that bothers you, if you haven't seen it yet, or if, I don't know what other reason you'd have, you just don't want to hear me prattle on about the movie, don't want my opinions, then, you know, don't stay. Go. You know, this is the only time I will just tell you, if you do not want to hear what I have to say, just go. I will not blame you. Okay? Because I don't want to spoil this movie for anyone, you know? Like, it has some fun surprises. I didn't love it as much as Sven did. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. But, you know, like, I want everyone to experience this movie on their own terms. So, you know, just heed my warnings, heed my many warnings before I start, okay? Just please. Because nothing hurts my heart more than ruining someone's experience with a piece of media, especially one that you have been waiting for years. Good to hear. Good to hear you liked it. Damn it, Garcia. Sorry. I'm trying to watch my language tonight because we have a language policy that I tend to habitually break, but we can say "damn it." I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I did have some issues with it. Now, a lot of it has to do with the human characters. Some of it has to do with, I needed more Tails. Now, of course, I am coming at this from the perspective of a hardcore Sonic fan. Like, I'm sure if I was a kid, I would love this movie. Yeah. Yeah, Garcia. That's why he chose damn it. Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. Like, when it comes to Sonic, Mimbo, Supreme, issues being resolved due to like plot convenience is just kind of how things tend to roll. Like, the Chaos Emeralds are literally just one big walking Deus Ex Machina, you know? But like, at the very least, like, the characters use their skills and their ingenuity, and on enough occasions. Although, yeah, I guess there were moments where, like, oh, like, I had no idea what I was doing with this Tails gadget, but I sure did save you just now. Oh, yes, there were definitely parts of this movie that were a little overboard, Garcia. So, okay, so, just a quick summary of what I like and what I didn't like. I hated Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was, like, I'm not a huge fan of Jim Carrey to begin with. So you can imagine my reaction when he leaps onto Tails' car and starts barking like a dog and licking the windshield. And, like, I don't know, thinking back on it now, I guess it was because Tails was a fox and that's what dogs do with foxes, but... Like, my main issue with the first Sonic movie was that Jim Carrey, sometimes he felt like he was being Robotnik. But, like, half the time he felt like it was just Jim Carrey wearing an outfit that vaguely looks like Robotnik. And in this, it's not like he is just mostly Jim Carrey at this point. Like, the very least, like Jim Carrey in the first movie, he was he was arrogant. Just like Dr. Eggman. Dr. Eggman, he's a very arrogant guy. He is someone who does think, yeah, I'm the smartest person in the room, and I look down on everyone else. Like, that is Eggman. That is him. And when Jim Carrey is doing that, that normally works. But I just didn't really get that from this movie. Like, in this movie, he was just kind of acting like, I don't know, trying to think of a good way to say this without being insensitive. Because I know there are a lot of words that I shouldn't say, but I kind of have. It's the only way I've been able to quantify. Jim Carrey just kind of comes off as someone's interpretation of a spazzy weirdo. That is ultimately like my big issue with Jim Carrey in this movie. And like, you can make kids content and not have that level of absurdity. Like, when I was a kid, movies, I didn't hate movies that did that stuff necessarily, but the movies I loved were the movies that treated me somewhat seriously. You know what? Like, I preferred Gargoyles to, let's see. I preferred Gargoyles to Ren and Stimpy, although Ren and Stimpy I mostly didn't like because of the art style, to be fair. I preferred Sonic Satam to Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. And I preferred Disney movies to Air Bud, and I think that, like, people underestimate kids to an extent, I think. Kids can have really good taste. And so I think it does them a disservice when it's like, you take, like, the big villain of your movie and you just, like, have them act nonsensical for a good portion of it. And that's just kind of what Jim Carrey does. Okay, I'm trying to pick a game here while I'm talking. I'm more invested in talking about the movie than playing games. I need to fix that. Okay. See, game start. Save game. There we are. Yeah, like, as a kid, I certainly, like, I would have just been staring there, sitting there, glass-eyed during a lot of the later wedding stuff. But I know, as a kid, I still would not have liked a lot of Jim Carrey's nonsense. Like, I certainly would have tolerated it a lot better. But, it's still... I would have been like, man, when's Sonic gonna come back? That would have been me. So, okay, so Jim Carrey. I'm really hoping that he really is retiring. And I'm really hoping that the producers, despite what they said, just recast him. Like, my gosh. Like, okay, alright, how I talked about how this is gonna have spoilers? Well, Jim Carrey is defeated at the end, of course, and they don't find his body. How about we just have him, okay, my housemate Corey, she's suggesting something that's basically from the Archie comics, but it would work so well. Where, like, you know what? Have Jim Carrey actually die. Or at least, like, just be a brain in a jar. And then have him upload his memory to a new body. And boom. New actor. And, like, cut down on the on all the Jim Carrey nonsense. Like, have him just be a fun villain, but a guy who can actually still be a villain, which is what Dr. Eggman is. Like, Dr. Eggman, he can be silly, but, like, he's also more of a threat. Where, like, Jim Carrey really only ever approaches that when, he's got the emeralds. Which, frankly, is kind of cheating. Like, I'm sorry, if your villain isn't, like, all that much of a villain until he gets the godlike power, then, he's just not a good villain. And, like, I don't know, even a villain doesn't have to be threatening. A villain can be a lot of things. But when it, I wouldn't know about Jim Carrey being signed on. because the producers, they were saying that, like, we think he'll be back for Sonic 3, but if not, we won't recast him. Like, at the very least, they certainly weren't like telling anyone that, hey, like, he's definitely coming back for the third one, don't worry. Like, Jim Carrey, he does Jim Carrey stuff. Yes! Oh wow, this was so much easier. Now, okay, now that Metal Sonic was on screen for like 5 seconds there, let me just say, I like Shadow. I like him. And yes, he's in the post-credits. Surprise! Like, Shadow's in the post-credits. Like, yep, probably the most predictable option, and to be completely honest, like, I'm fine with it. I get why they did it. But Shadow being there means, like, leaves me wondering, where does Metal Sonic fit into any of this? Because once you have Shadow, what even is Metal Sonic? Metal Sonic, he is evil Sonic. That's basically what he is. Not even evil Sonic. He is just like robotic Sonic. No personality, but got all the speed and power. That's what Metal Sonic is. And so, like, Shadow the Hedgehog, he is like... Shadow the Hedgehog, he is like, basically like evil Sonic, except he has motivation and a personality. So, like, why do you even need Metal Sonic at that point? Why? Like, you got someone who can compete with Sonic already in terms of speed and power, so what does Metal Sonic do? And, like, I don't know, like, I wrote this article on Sonic Stadium called, the 5 do's and 3 don'ts of what they should do in Sonic 2. One of those was focus on Tails, don't have Knuckles, and, like, don't introduce too many of Sonic's friends. Like, keep things small and contained so that you can spend more time with these characters. And among the other things I said was, hey, you know what? We don't need Knuckles, because we've got Metal Sonic. And Metal Sonic is the perfect reply to Sonic. Like, how is Dr. Robotnik going to respond to Sonic? Make a robot Sonic! Of course, like, he's already talking about in the first movie of how, hey, people suck, people are unreliable. Robots are all that you need. Robots are better. So how does Dr. Robotnik improve on Sonic? He makes a robot Sonic. And so, like, a movie that was just Sonic and Tails on an adventure looking for one Chaos Emerald, and, like, having multiple, having, like, multiple encounters with Metal Sonic, and at the end, like, the ending could still work the same, but with just Sonic and Tails, no Knuckles. Where, like, Robotnik gets the Emerald, he creates his gigantic Death Egg robot. Honestly, I wish he had created an actual Death Egg for the Death Egg robot to be in, but that's neither here nor there. But, like, and then, like, I don't know, like, after Sonic finally defeats Metal Sonic, that's, like, the big final boss. Like, that, to me, like, would have been a perfect escalation of the first movie. And it would have allowed, Sonic 2 to focus just on Tails and Sonic's relationship, because another complaint I have is Tails is good in this, of course. Calling O'Shangzi, spectacular. But I really was feeling the lack of screen time for him. Like, Tails and Sonic, they get basically 2 scenes together before Tails gets knocked out and is effectively written out of the rest of the movie until the climax. And what we got between them was good. Like, I'm not entirely sure how I felt about the Russian-Siberian scene where they basically bonded. I don't know how I feel about that yet. Like, I didn't hate it, but I don't know if I like it. But that was like their big bonding scene, and that was good, but, like, I could have gone for way more of that. But instead, Sonic has to leave, and he has to go after the Emerald, and he has to go after Knuckles. And of course, that's when Sonic and Knuckles, they have their big fight, their big exchange, and that was really good. Like, it was really awesome seeing Sonic and Knuckles bond like they did. Like, that was cool. But that was screen time that was sacrificed. That could have been Tails', but was sacrificed for Knuckles. And that was something that I figured was going to happen, like, a few years ago, which is why I didn't want Knuckles in this. Now, at the end of the day, again, like, this wasn't as good as it could have been, but it was still good. Like, I did still like... Tails got enough screen time. Knuckles got enough screen time. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails had good interplay. Now we've got this stuff set up for future stuff. That is all really cool. But, like, there are just certain things in regards to how the Sonic stuff was used that, I kind of felt like it could have been done more intelligently if they were willing to save some of their toys for a later movie and wait. But unfortunately, you know, Knuckles is more marketable than Tails. Knuckles, like, the fact that this had Knuckles and had Idris Elba playing Knuckles is probably the only reason why. We got Culling O'Shaughnessy as Tails, because Knuckles was seen as the big new hotness. And of course, Shadow is going to be the big new hotness of movie number 3. Alright, I'm sorry, I've been kind of ignoring the comments. I'm going to pause this and take a quick look. I mean, I would argue, Garcia, that Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails were there for the kids. Like, if there's anything I liked as a kid, it's colorful, cartoony animals. Like, that was why... that was why I got into a lot of things as a kid, like Care Bears. I liked Care Bears as like a 7-year-old because they're colorful. They're like all these cool pastel colors, and you know, then there's the Care Bear cousins, which, you know, introduce more design variety. Like, I just like staring at them, and like, so, like, you know, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, like, that is basically. They are there for the kids. They are, like, tailor-made for kids. Jim Carrey, I think, was really just there because they needed a draw for the first movie. Like, Jim Carrey, he does still carry some weight with millennials, with older people who, like, grew up with his movies. I think that is why he was there, was because they're like, hey, like, we need a name, but we don't want to pay too much money. And so Jim Carrey's Robotnik, perfect. And then, like, Sonic 1 does really well, and Sonic 2 is getting made, and Jim Carrey's just kind of be there, is just there because, hey, people liked him in the first one. That's part of the reason why it got decent reviews from adult critics, was because of Carrey's nonsense. So, like, you know, Carrey, I think this franchise can now survive without him very easily because people aren't really here for Carrey anymore. They are here for Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. They are here for the furry animal trio. And the other reason to keep, and like, there is no, like, they can recast Jim Carrey, and it'll be fine. It'll be more than fine for this franchise, because he is no longer what's propping things up. And hey, you know what? If they cast, like, a relatively unknown actor, or, like, I don't know, a comedian or something who isn't as well known as Carrey, like, they could probably also cut the budget a bit in that area. But anyway, like, I will also say that, you know, kids don't need cringe moments. Like, kids can be okay with cringe moments, but, like Pixar movies, I know I'm setting a really high bar here, talking about Pixar movies and a thing about Sonic, but, like, Pixar movies don't need to go cringe to appeal to the kids. Let's see. Oh, wow. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, wait. I don't know where you heard that he is set, that they want... Well, okay. So, yes. Yes, Garcia. Carrey said he's going to retire unless he receives a script written in gold ink from angels, which, like, let's be honest, that's not going to be Sonic 3. Like, Sonic 3 may very well have good material for Ben Schwartz, Kalingo Shengenzi, and Idris Elba, but it's not going to have good material for Jim Carrey. I know Jim Carrey, I believe he can actually be a pretty good actor. Like, I think he's done serious stuff. Ooh, I just got crushed. But, like, that is clearly not what they're doing with Dr. Eggman, and, like, I don't even know how they would do that with Dr. Eggman for Jim Carrey. But, like, if Jim Carrey really is serious about walking away, then... Well, then, like, the producers, they did say they want him back. But, man, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I think I'm trying to play a game and talk in depth about a movie at the same time. Oof, I almost got hit there. But, oof. But, like, yeah, so the producers, they do want him back, but I'm hoping that they will just, like... Say, hey, Negro Botnik. Carrey's not coming back. We don't need him anymore, because people, like, Sonic is big now. Knuckles is, like, he's getting a series, Knuckles. So, like, let's just, you know, mark it on the Sonic character from here on out. And pick someone else for Dr. Robotnik. Like, now, I don't even know who they would pick for him. Well, Garcia, if they don't get Jim Carrey back, they said they wouldn't recast Robotnik. I hope they're wrong. But, like, I would imagine that if they were going to write Robotnik out, Agent Stone would probably, like, take over as the villain, which... I like Agent Stone, but I don't really know if that's gonna work. Like... I don't know, like, whenever I think about a villainous sidekick taking over for the big baddie, I think about Prince Charming and Shrek 3, and how terrible he was. I know that I'm basically comparing, like, apples and kumquats, but... like, I don't know. But my hope is that if they don't get Carrey back, what they will do is they will just recast him. Now, who they would recast as Dr. Eggman, I have no idea. I'm hoping it'll be, like, someone who has some body weight, maybe a thicker face, and most importantly, a deeper voice. Wow, I just got a game over. So that is my hope for Jim Carrey. Ooh, sweet, it got continues. So that's my hope for what happens if Jim Carrey doesn't come back. And let me remind you, Jim Carrey, you know, he is kind of, he's an anti-vaxxer, among other things. Like, there are many other reasons beyond his performance where I guess would not mind if he just disappeared forever. From movies, specifically. From movies, obviously. And, like, you know what? Like, if, like, maybe Jim Carrey gets that, golden angel script, and, like, he gets to make an actual Jim Carrey movie instead of just being Jim Carrey in a Sonic movie. And, like, both the Jim Carrey people and the Sonic people can be happy, and the Sonic people who are also Jim Carrey people can just kind of be disappointed but still get two things that they want, which I assume would be more Jim Carrey and more Sonic. Okay, so in terms of Easter eggs, I'm not the best at spotting them. Obviously, like, during the Siberian dance sequence. Can't believe I said that. Sonic did a little Sonic Adventure pose, which was also in the music video. I did not know that that was actually from the movie. I guess that makes sense that it was in the movie, but I did not know it was in the movie. Also, Agent Stone was holding the Death Egg manual, and the Death Egg manual had Sega Genesis box art. The Sega Genesis box art grid. So, yeah, that was fun. If there were any musical references, I didn't notice it. There wasn't anything as obvious as the as John Batiste's Green Hill melody from the first movie. You know, Knuckles does say, like, does the ice cream have grapes in it? Because he likes grapes, and that is a thing that video game Knuckles also likes. And let's see, what else is there? Well, we got Super Sonic! Oh man, Super Sonic was cool. Super Sonic was so cool. Super Sonic, man. Like, I was kind of spoiled on that before the movie came out via a toy leak. Like, Sonic Stadium wrote an article. I wrote an article on Sonic Stadium about a toy that got leaked. And I noticed at the bottom that it said Super Sonic. And so I'm like, oh, crap. I better remove this before other people see it. Because we at Sonic Stadium, we take spoilers very seriously. But regardless, that didn't take away from just how cool it was to see Super Sonic like this. Like, this is the best Super Sonic has ever looked. Like, when it comes to Super Sonic, I have high standards. Because, you know, Sonic X Super Sonic, I was so disappointed by that. Like, here I am, I'm picturing Super Sonic. I'm picturing this character, Super Sonic, like, you know, being this beautifully animated thing. And instead, it's just a bunch of still frames. And seeing Super Sonic in the movie really just kind of helped make up for that, because Super Sonic in movies is just gorgeous. And it was so surreal seeing like live-action Super Sonic like that. Oh boy. Let's see. But what other, like, actual Easter eggs? Yeah, I can't think of too many others. Oh, oh yeah. So, there was something on the runes that Sonic, the puzzle that Sonic had to solve, to get the compass. Let's see. Okay, so the symbols on the owl statue were Babylonian, and that was a deep-cut Sonic Riders reference. The idea being that since the owls and Babylon rogues are birds, it'd be a fun connection, which, given that the owls are said to be wiped out in this movie, I don't really know if that's going to pan out. Like, it's just probably just going to end up being a fun reference that will not have any plot implications because, like, that just would imply that the Babylon rogues got wiped out along with the owls, and I don't want that. And of course, not really an Easter egg. Oh, right! Yeah, another Easter egg. Well, this was an Easter egg. So, obviously, the ruins that the Master Emerald was in, that was obviously Labyrinth Zone. Obviously. But, like, the most obvious version of that was, when Sonic first arrives there, he falls down like a bunch of waterfalls. Just like the ones right out of Labyrinth Zone. And, you know, that's not detail they needed to have for the ruins, but it was there. Alright. Ooh. Okay, don't want to die again. Alright, so, Knuckles was great, as I've said. But, like, you know, I feel like this is one of the few versions of Knuckles that really managed to figure out how to have a Knuckles who is both kind of dim, but, you know, still a warrior, still a hero. And my roommate Corey, she basically said, you know, it's basically kind of like Drax. And certainly, like, the fact that, like, Knuckles just did not understand anything about Earth customs or references really did kind of lend it to a Drax sort of deal. But, like, to me, it's more like, it kind of helps contrast. It's one of the many ways that Knuckles and Sonic kind of contrast. Because, you know, Sonic, he is completely embroiled in Earth culture. Because he's basically spent, like, his first 10 years there just watching movies through Tom's window. And whereas, like, Knuckles, he just has no idea what anything on Earth is. And that does lend itself to a lot to some nice humor. You know, a lot of Knuckles' humor is basically, you know, he has no idea what this is, and so he treats it very seriously. And that's the joke. And it's honestly, when it's done with Idris Elba's delivery, and, like, Knuckles' like, just stone cold serious demeanor, that works really well for him. It kind of helps Knuckles, like, be that hardened warrior while still having a light side to him. And Knuckles being a hardened warrior makes sense because, as we find out in this movie, Knuckles is an orphan, just like Sonic is. And probably one of the best scenes in this movie is where Knuckles and Sonic bond over their mutual loss. Like, it is, like, kind of, it is basically confirmed that, at least as far as Sonic is concerned, Longclaw is dead. And as far as Knuckles is concerned, his entire tribe is dead. Which, of course, this implies that basically Longclaw died, but she took an entire army of Echidna warriors with her. Which is really wild. Now, I would expect that the Echidnas aren't actually extinct and that something else happened to them. Or at the very least, I would expect that Longclaw didn't actually wipe them out. Because, again, she was already injured. I would be shocked if that was the case. Oh, darn. You know, one thing these movies have really been missing are like proper Dr. Robotnik machines. Like, the first movie had one, and the second movie had the Eggmobile, which doesn't really, it just kind of fires some missiles. It doesn't really do much. Like, this is where Robotnik is silly. He doesn't leap upon the car windshield and lick it. He builds weird robots and devices. That is what he does. Okay. Come on, I at least want to beat this before moving on to another game. Okay. I'm actually getting legit a little... My throat's getting dry. I think I might have to talk a little less for a minute. Thankfully, I have already gotten out a lot of what I wanted to say, although there's some more things I want to complain about and praise. Gosh darn it. I really hate these moving blocks. Ooh, that was close. Anyway, needless to say, I do not agree with my boss's review. I don't think this is a 9 out of 10 movie. I think that as a Sonic fan, there are some pretty serious flaws with the movie. I've already, like, gone deep into it with Jim Carrey, of course. But it isn't just Jim Carrey. I did also talk about how I wish Tails had more screen time. But another aspect of this that I did not care for was... Okay, so... this movie... This movie... When I was, like, watching the trailers and everything, I basically figured that, yeah... Sonic will reach Hawaii at the, at the start of the third act. And then they'll go straight from Hawaii to, to Green Hills. Because I assumed at the time that Sonic would still have his ring. Oh, wait, sorry. I assumed that once Sonic got to Hawaii, he'd, go to the Labyrinth Zone, he would face Knuckles, Dr. Eggman would get the Emerald, and then, they all go to Green Hills and have the big showdown. That is what I was expecting. But what I didn't know was that there is an entire subplot involving Gun. And it's kinda bad. So, the weird Olive Garden guy who shows up at the end of the first movie and gives Tom and Maddie their Olive Garden gift card, which they did not care for because they kind of wanted, money to pay for the house, to pay for their house repairs or something. But no, just the Olive Garden, and that is still his shtick. He's basically the Gun Commander guy who. Oh yeah, and so it turns out that guy he is Gun Commander from Shadow the Hedgehog. He is that guy basically. Maybe he isn't. They never explicitly call him Gun Commander, and he doesn't have the eye thing. I forget what it's called. But, he's old. So, and he leads gun. So, Gun Commander. That is basically where I'm going. I don't know why I even jump into these. I am not in the right headspace to play these special stages. Anyway. So basically, the whole wedding was a plot to lure Sonic there, so that they could catch him. That was the whole reason. What's her? I forget the character's name, but Natasha Rothwell's fiance. He was a gun agent. And that was his whole deal. I'm here I am just wondering, what would have happened if Sonic didn't show up? I guess he just marries Natasha Rothwell and they have a life together now. And I don't know, I guess it could be argued that maybe there's a long game where, eventually Sonic was gonna show up. And, if he didn't show up at the wedding, then he would basically, be a spy embedded into the Wachowski family. Admittedly, I'm probably overthinking this. But, yeah. So, okay, I need to focus for a second. So there is a whole gun subplot that was basically not in the trailers. And like I said, it's terrible. And it's terrible because after Sonic and Tails get captured, they basically disappear from the movie for a good 20 minutes. And instead, we are treated to... Okay. Well, game over. Instead, we are basically get to Natasha Rothwell going on an insane rampage, trying to get revenge on the man who wronged her. And that is the movie for basically the next 20 minutes. And it's terrible because they play this super seriously, where they for context, before they show up, but before the whole twist happens, we have spent 5 minutes with Natasha and her fiancé. 5 minutes. One scene. One scene. And you know what? I chuckled. It was a chuckle-worthy little scene. Good acting. All that stuff. But, like, then the movie just, like, focuses on the aftermath of this betrayal. And it just gets super serious. Like, how could you betray me? And lots of revenge stuff. You know? Like, and here I am, like, so it starts out with Natasha Rothwell and Tika Sumpter. They're, like, sneaking towards the hotel where Sonic and Tails were taken. And like, you know, Natasha and, like, Tika Sumpter, you know, I remember her name, Maddie. And, like, Maddie, she has Tails' backpack, which arms her with weird weapons. And they basically, like, make their way towards the hotel as they figure the weapons out. It's cute. It's funny. Like, some people will call it a plot convenience, but whatever. Like, that's kind of part of the joke, is, oh, wow, I didn't mean to do that. So, you know, it's fine. It's fine. So, like, here I am, like, Natasha Rothwell, she saves, Maddie from, like, the last gun guy, I think, and she makes her way into the hotel. Here I am thinking, like, okay, so, like, Natasha, she is leaving the scene. She is gonna go get revenge on her fiancé. So we're gonna, like, follow Tika Sumpter making her way through the hotel, right? Right? You know, we're gonna follow Sonic's mom rescuing him, right? But no, we do not. Instead, we get Natasha Rothwell going on the warpath, and, like, beating up her fiancé with Tails' weapons, and then holding Gun Commander at gun. Really, it's a laser point. And there are, like, other issues with this scene. Like, what are the big issues with Natasha Rothwell's action? She's basically just her character. Sorry, I don't want to say Natasha Rothwell is this. I apologize, but her character is basically angry black woman stereotype. And personally, and, like, you know, I'm on her side throughout the whole movie, throughout the whole little scene, everything. I'm like, yeah, get him. But, like, I'm feeling no emotion here. And her character remains fairly flat and basically just a stereotype. And so, like, there's, like, I'm basically, like, we're basically expending 20 minutes on this one subplot that's being taken way too seriously, while a more interesting thing is going on with a character I am more invested in. So, like, yeah, like, the whole Natasha Rothwell gun scene was just terrible. It's, like, probably the worst extended part of the movie. I was getting bored by the end of it. And I know for a fact that was not put in for the kids, because the kids were also, because, like, Kidney also would have been waiting for Sonic and Tails to show back up. And, so, you know, so that was actually probably, like, my biggest single non-Carrey criticism of the entire movie. That basically, the movie, that whole scene could have and should have been cut. It should have been, like, if they weren't going to give Tika Sumpter more to do, which would have been the better option, since, you know, obviously the whole reason why the whole sequence exists is so that they can, like, spend time with just the human characters so they don't have to pay anyone to animate anything. But, you know, it's basically just a whole big money-saving sequence. But, like, if you're gonna do that, like, at the very least, like, focus on the character who was Sonic's mom. Do that. And don't, like, focus on the subplot that I have no investment in because you spent no goddamn time on it. Ultimately, it just feels like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if Sonic 2 was 2 hours and 2 minutes long? Boy, you know what? We're just gonna keep this sequence that we just kind of filmed for funsies that we really should have cut just so that we can do that. Like, it just, Like, there are a few points where it just kind of felt like, yeah, they should have just cut. They really could have, like, slimmed it down in places, but that was the big one. That was the massive one. And boy howdy, I keep hitting that. I keep hitting that. I'm sorry. It comes down to me talking really impassioned while I'm playing a Sonic game. Oh, thank goodness! Wow. I don't think that spring was there in the original. I think that's like where you fall as Super Sonic and then wait to die. And I keep hitting it. Whoa! Jeez! Happened again. That's gotta be something that they added for Sonic Jam. Anyway, so, yes. Those are all of my major criticisms. And in terms of stuff I liked, I mean, unfortunately, again, I like this movie. It's at least a 7 out of 10, maybe a 7.5. It's good. It's better than the original, which I also liked. But, in terms of what I liked, admittedly, I have less to say, because it's like, yes, Ben Schwartz is still a great Sonic. Sonic being a kid, and learning to be... Sonic being a kid is still great. And Sonic learning to be a hero, like a real hero who, like, actually looks out for other people, that is a really good way to follow up on his whole plot. Now, I do feel like that could have been done executed a little better. But it was still good, and it gives the movie a theme, and it gives Sonic a character arc. I guess like the first one, actually. Like, if there's anything that the writers of these movies know how to do, it's like give Sonic character arcs. Yes! Okay. Yes! 2 rings! Okay. I'm just gonna focus on the game for a second. Hope you all don't mind. Oh, dang it. Yes! Finally! Okay. Oh man, it almost became, man, what is this level called? I forget. Mine something. Jeez. I am a bad Sonic fan. I will find out in a second. But, come on. Something mine. Now I need to check, because this is just bothering my brain. Oh, wait a moment. Sorry. Mr. Games, yes. Okay, I'm gonna make my stupid joke in a second. This was almost Mystic Cave the stream. There we go. Okay, so I do need to get some water. I'm very thirsty. Unfortunately, I didn't think to get it ahead of time. So I think I'm just gonna like put on something in Sonic Game World. I think I'm gonna play the Sonic OVA trailer again, because you know what? It would not be a Sonic movie spoiler stream if it didn't like reference the other Sonic movie. I must say, I'm a little disappointed that no one in chat has like started a fight with me. Like, I kind of figured that at some point, like, someone's gonna say, "Hey, you're being too hard on this movie." But it's unfortunately my chat's just kind of falling silent. Which, you know, that happens. I assume you all are busy or something. But like, if you want to like debate me, you know, you're welcome to. Like, I was kind of expecting to fight somebody at some point tonight. Alright, this, I think, is long enough. Alright, so I'm going to step back for a second to get myself some water, and you guys enjoy. Oh no, where's my water cup? Oh, there it is. Right on my computer.
赤い新ブラックエッグマンと名乗るどこの馬の骨ともわからんやつがロボット軍勢を率いてエッグマンランドに攻め込んできたのじゃ。
Oh man, Metal Sonic, why couldn't we get you in the movie? In the actual movie? You're so cool. Isn't Metal Sonic just the coolest, y'all? Alright, I'm back with my water, but I am gonna just like sit for a second. I do need a little break. Which means I need to play something else to keep y'all entertained. Yeah? Yeah? So how about some Sonic CD? Let's keep the Sonic anime train going, yeah? Wow, this is taking a minute to load. You know what, you know what, it's interesting that, like, the Sonic CD, this really does show, like, how far Sonic CD came, these sorts of visuals came between the Sega CD and the Saturn. This looks way better on the Saturn. What's interesting for me is that, like, in terms of the Sonic fandom, I appear to be cooler on this movie than a lot of other people. Which, man, that honestly, like, given that I tend to fancy myself as one of the more optimistic people in the Sonic fandom, who's slower to criticism, that does kind of shock me. But yeah, like, so far, like, most Sonic fans that I've read opinions from say that they loved it. Which, that does kind of make me wonder, like, what am I missing here? And I think maybe it's because, like, I just have kind of learned to go into movies with a more critical eye because I know I'll be doing stuff like this. I know I'll be writing articles, and I know I'll be going on podcasts, and I'll be doing stuff like what I'm doing tonight. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, where I have a stream that's explicitly meant to do something other than talk about video games. And this is the good Sega CD and Sonic CD ending, of course. That is my Eggman. Go take Jim Carrey and, I don't know, throw a rock at him and blow him up. Like that. Just like what Sonic did. Yes. I will say that, as much as I like Sonic's movie design, I do not want video game Sonic to have blue arms. Like, they had the Sonic sprite with the blue arms in the movie credits, and oh boy, do I just not care for that. I do not care for that at all. At the very least, when you're dealing with sprite artwork, keep the arms a different color. Like, I'm fairly certain that the whole reason why Sonic has skin-toned arms is because, one, The Sega Genesis has a limited color palette, so of course you would color his arms the same color as his stomach. It just, like, makes technical sense. But in addition to that, like, you know, especially like back in the day, like Sonic's blue arms would just like, because they're so skinny, will just like blend into the rest of the sprite. It just look weird. So I imagine it's probably why they did that. But I never want them to change it, at least not for 2D Sonic, not for Retro Sonic. For 3D Sonic, I probably wouldn't notice. Like, you know, Boom Sonic looks good. Boom Sonic looks good. Okay, so, there's something else I wanted to do, and I forget what that was. Let's take a look at some commercials. You know what? I don't think I've ever looked at this before. At least I don't remember it. I wonder if they have any of the animated bits in this.
Mega CD.
Oh, nope. I actually have seen this. I guess I forgot it was in CG. Man, CG has come a long way. Look at my boy Metal. He is so good.
From Mega CD.
Alright. Drink my water. Let's see. You know what? I'm curious. Oh, wait a moment. This is the claymation thing, isn't it? Pretty sure this is the claymation thing. This does look cool. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what this is. I enjoy it. It is such a shame that Sonic never really took off in Japan. I assume that's one of the reasons why the Japanese release has been delayed. It isn't coming out until like July or August. Because, one, they're probably not expecting it to do well, but they do also seem to be picking some... I think they do have some voice acting, some like notable voice acting talent in that for Japan. Alright, now I'm curious what the other one is, because I don't remember the claymation one right now. I really wish we got some American ads in this. Fun fact, Sega Sonic was used, instead of just Sonic, as like, it was like a, ooh, this is some nice animation, as like a branding thing. Like, I think like they couldn't trademark Sonic at the time. And so they, that is why they ended up going with Sega Sonic, because they could trademark that. Now, that might not be 100% accurate, but that's at least partially accurate. I don't really feel like doing research on it right now. Oh no. My AirPods are going dead. Yeah, that is how I listen to my games while I'm doing stuff on here, through my Apple AirPods. It gets connected to my TV. Alright, one more. I'm curious how they did Spinball. This was one of the fully US developed ones, like one of the few that got a proper release in Japan at this point. Now, of course, Sonic 2, that did get developed in Japan, but the Sonic Team of Japan... That did get developed in the US, but Sonic Team of Japan did play a pretty big role. Oh, interesting! Pre-order bonuses! Huh. Neat. Okay. Alright, I think I've wasted enough time here. Sonic movie! It's cool! Yes, I agree with that, Sonic Jam. It is cool. It's not amazing. It's not 9 out of 10, but it's cool. I'll give it that. Okay, so... Let's see. Character House. Yes. So I want to just do a quick thing. So, let's see. So, oh, that's weird. I could have sworn Knuckles liking grapes was a thing in this game. And I was going to point that out and say, hey, they reference this exact thing in the movie, but no, it's fruit and digging holes, and he dislikes strong sunshine. Wow. And weak point, girls, because he's a shy guy. Maybe, like, echidna girls, anyway. Like, in fairness, like, if there's anything these movies lack, it's, like, teenage girls, so... Although, I don't know. Am I getting weird here? Because, like, the characters are kids. And they're basically, like, teenagers. And so but, like, I don't know. Would Knuckles even have that attraction? I don't know. I don't even really tend to like to think about that stuff. I'm not... unless it's like, you know, Archie Sonic or something. One of the few ships I will explicitly support is, what's the word? Oh yeah, is Tangle and Whisper. Yes. I want that, Sega. Give it to me. Weak point, question mark. Now, I don't know why they're, like, referencing... Oh, okay. I don't know why they're, like, referencing grapes, but, like, nothing for Tails and his mint candy addiction. Where is that in the movie? They need to, like, just have Tails just be, like, a mint candy junkie. Just, like, his bed, which... I'm just going to assume that his bed in the Wachowski household is going to be like in like a biplane or something, because Sonic is a race car. And I don't know, Knuckles probably gonna sleep on the floor because that's what warriors do. You know, Tails' bed is just gonna be covered in mint candy tins. They come in tins, right? Okay, tins or wrappers, one of the two. And he dislikes Thunder. That also wasn't referenced. That makes me sad. Makes me very sad. But he likes machine maintenance, which, yeah, like he is an inventor. You gotta keep that stuff up with maintenance, yeah? So, alright. So... well, I might as well just click on Sonic at this point. So, he likes fast-moving things and music, which, sure. Dislikes the word slow and tears. Sure, like, sure. I mean, who likes tears? At least, like, okay, I'm sure specifically it is tears of sadness, like tears of laughter. I'm sure Sonic has no issue with that, but obviously it's implied to be like tears from crying. And he can't swim, which, yeah, like that's a pretty well-known thing at this point. Oh man, one Easter egg I forgot to mention is that Sonic can't swim, of course, and so when he has to rescue Knuckles from the bottom of a pool of water, a big bubble of water floats up, and he just inhales it, just like in the games. Like that, it basically just like used a game. Like a game mechanic in the movie to keep Sonic alive, I guess. So yeah, that's another Easter egg that I completely forgot about. I mean, okay, to be fair, Jim Carrey's Eggman, or Dr. Robotnik, does like machines and dislike Sonic. That is certainly accurate. So on those two things, and he acts like a child. I mean, sure, but there are multiple ways for a kid to act. I don't know. In any case, I hope Jim Carrey's gone. I've made that clear, I know, but still. Alright, so, like, I think I've already mentioned how, like, yes, Shadow is the character that is revealed in the after credits. Now, I am considering playing some Sonic Adventure 2. Although I am starting to get a little tired. Whew. But I also want to do some Sonic 3. We're doing lots of Sonic 2 because, you know, Sonic 2 is the name of the movie. But, you know, this is more of a Sonic 3 adaptation. a Sonic 3 and Knuckles adaptation. So, how can we do this? Normal. Well, one thing I could do is I could just, like, skip to the end of the game. Because I do remember the cheat codes for this. Okay, actually, I would probably have to look them up at this point. It has been a long time since I've used them. Oh man, there's Supersonic. Man, if Supersonic could be taken out that easily, then Dr. Eggman would have had a much easier time at the end of that movie than he did. Like, it, at the very least, would have been an actual fight instead of Sonic just curb stomping him. Alright, so what else do I have to talk about? Alright, so... Shadow. So, yeah, we've got Shadow. Shadow's coming. He's going to be the focus of the third movie. That's what a lot of people were predicting. And I saw those same people, like, arguing against people I never actually saw. But me personally, like, look, I understood that Shadow was likely to be had a pretty good chance of being in the third movie because, you know, after Knuckles, he is the most marketable Sonic character. And after Knuckles, he's also the new Sonic character with the most story potential. Because of his backstory with Maria and Gerald Robotnik and, you know, Gun. Who, as we've set up, are kind of goofy, but they're also kind of evil. So, you know, Gun do a Gun do. But, of course, as I've already gone into earlier, there are multiple reasons why I did not want Shadow. And one was, we haven't had Metal Sonic yet. And you can't have Metal Sonic. And like, how do you do Metal Sonic after you do Shadow? Like, I don't know how, as I've said already. But like, another thing is that, you know what? Knuckles deserves more time in the spotlight. Tails, and at this point I also feel like Tails really does deserve more screen time. Basically, I feel like, you know what? Maybe play with the toys that you got before you introduce a new one. But unfortunately, that's not really how movies think. And so instead of like just elaborating more on Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles and just giving them more screen time and elaborating on the relationships with Tom and Maddie and maybe finally doing something good with Natasha Rothwell, like it's gonna be like, I assume if Jim Carrey comes back, I assume it's going to be Jim Carrey being weird with Shadow. That is what I am predicting. Now, like, given that when they found out about Shadow, like, Agent Stone was there, and he heard them say that stuff, I imagine that what they're going to do is they're going to have Agent Stone, like, be the one who uncovers Shadow. And, you know what? Maybe Shadow, but like, I don't know. I guess had an idea. If Jim Carrey doesn't come back, you know what they could do? Agent Stone brings back Shadow, becomes Shadow's lackey, and Shadow is the main villain of the third movie. They could do that. And we wouldn't have to deal with Jim Carrey's nonsense anymore, which I would be more than happy about. But I would also be pretty sad because, hey, Robotnik's gone, and, like, he is the Sonic villain. Like, Shadow's the bad guy for one movie, and then it's like, oh, hey, I forgot that Maria didn't oh hey, Gerald Robotnik actually programmed me to like, you know, want to destroy the world, but Maria, who was the person who had a personal relationship, who was the person like who I actually had like a connection with, who I had a friendship with, you know, she wanted me to save the world, and so I'm going to like ignore what Gerald Robotnik put in my head, and I'm going to, you know, save the world, like. And so, like, yeah, he can be the villain for that one movie, but then either he dies and he stays dead, or he is just another one of Sonic's friends. Like, one of those two things is going to be what happens, and, like, what do you do for villains? And so, yeah, I would like them to bring back Jim Carrey. But, sorry, I would like for them to bring back Dr. Robotnik, recast him as someone not Jim Carrey. And like, you know, like, Shadow can still be, like, the primary villain, the primary driver of the plot, especially since in Sonic Adventure 2, like, you know, Dr. Robotnik comes over to the hero side before Shadow does. Like, it is conceivable that in the movie, like, Dr. Robotnik could be working against Shadow for a chunk of it. Like, you know, Robotnik is forced to work with Sonic to save the world because he wants to conquer the world, not blow it up. Like, even in the movie, like, Jim Carrey's all like, I'm going to enslave humanity and make them build my machines. He never once says, I'm gonna, like, blow up the world or whatever. And so, you know, that is a way that could work. And so, and so, like, you know, like, that's why I would ultimately prefer for Robotnik to stick around, and for them to just recast Jim Carrey into someone I like. But, like, Sonic 3 is the one movie that could probably work without a Robotnik. Now, one thing about this movie that makes me a little sad was that we didn't have any other character cameos. Like, I was kind of hoping that we would get a like, kind of a last-minute introduction of a bunch of Sonic characters, like, you know, Blaze, the Chaotix, Rouge. You know, because Shadow, he was a predictable one. Although, man, let's talk about Shadow for a second. Shadow looks really good. He looks so good. Like that. Tyson Hess does it again. Great design. I do kind of wonder who's going to be playing him, though. Well, I've talked about the movie. I've gone as deep in the spoilers as I can without. I guess I could stand to praise it more because I've spent most of my stream criticizing the movie, despite the fact that I do like the movie. So let's see. What can I say that's good about it? Well, like I said, I really like Sonic and Knuckles' I like their bonding moment, their bonding moments where they find out that they both suffer losses. But I do just enjoy their chemistry. Like, you know, it has the kind of chemistry you'd expect. Sonic being the pop culture referencing Joker, and Knuckles being the over serious nice guy. Unfortunately, Knuckles and Tails don't share much screen time, but from what little we saw of them, I like them as well. Like, it was good. I want to see way more of it in a third movie. But given that this movie was clearly being very careful with how much they were showing the CG characters, I'm not really sure how much of that we're going to get. And the moments we got between Tails and Sonic were good. You know, like, Sonic was being the super supportive big brother. And Tails was like being the overly eager fan who like gets affirmation for his skills and like, you know, isn't shunned for his two tails. It's like, it's nice. It's nice. They have a good little thing going. And that's why I just wish that there was more of it, because what we get is sweet. And what we get from Sonic and Tom is, again, sweet. Like, Sonic and Tom have surprisingly good chemistry. Which, I think I'm the only person who thinks that. I like them together. I like Tom being Sonic's dad figure, and like hell, at the end of the movie, Sonic calls him Dad, and that's awesome. Like, you know, people are like reading all into this found family dynamic, which I think is fairly explicit. Uh-oh. Sorry, I guess my AirPods just completely died. Anyway, like so, like. People were going all into the found family dynamic from the first one, and I do think it was fairly explicit. But like this movie just codifies it, just absolutely codifies it, and I really do love that. I do kind of wonder what's going to happen if Maddie and Tom actually have the kid, though. And let's see, and I already gushed over how cool Super Sonic was. My God, just like seeing him on screen, that whole action sequence was just so freaking cool. This movie has really good action sequences. Like, really good action sequences. Sonic vs. Knuckles, really cool stuff. My only complaint is, of course, Jim Carrey related, because they do spend a small chunk of the final fight just focusing on Jim Carrey commenting on it. And it does kind of break the flow a bit, but whatever. It was still really good action, and the snowboarding sequence was awesome. Knuckles chasing, chasing down Tails. The initial fight between Sonic and Knuckles is really cool. Like, you really get a sense of what Knuckles' power is, and that he is a threat. Like, I kind of feel like Jim Carrey gets super goofy in this, in part because Knuckles is doing all the legwork of being the threat here. Because like there were times when Jim Carrey was clearly like being trying to be a threat in the first one, and he accomplished it well enough by the end. It was good, I guess. Like, honestly, I prefer Jim Carrey's performance in the first one to the second one, in part because of that. But, so like Knuckles' strength is really shown off. Knuckles' character is really shown off in that, and the action is, I guess, just really good. Like, this movie just has superb action throughout. I will say that, the CG for... Oh, Tails, why did you do that? The CG for, the Death Egg robot was kinda spotty. Like, it definitely was struggling to look believable in the sequences where it was towering over the city. It just didn't look right. And I imagine it may have been, like, in part just like a lighting thing. Because I don't think it's a coincidence that the most unbelievable sequences were the one where it was the most zoomed out. But like on the whole, the movie just looked great, had great action, and it really felt much more like a movie than the first one did. Like, it really felt like they got a lot closer to their MCU aspirations here versus the first one, but they can't complete that until they drop things like the Natasha Rothwell wedding revenge thing, and the Gun Commander Olive Garden thing, and the Jim Carrey. Like, so far as I'm concerned, at this point, all that stuff's just holding these movies back. Because Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails are really good. They're really good in this, and the movie's biggest problems is that we don't get more of them. Especially Tails. And as I've said numerous times, I'm sorry for repeating myself. But like, you know, that is the big problem. Gosh darn it. For me, in terms of the Sonic cast. And let's see. So, okay, I already commented how like Sonic just has a great relationship with Tom. And Tom's whole thing at the start of the movie, which basically like sets up Sonic's character arc of, hey, like, I know you're anxious to be a hero, but you gotta wait for your moment. And then, like, you know, Sonic's talking about how, hey, I found my moment, and then I missed my moment, and that's like the down part of the movie. And admittedly, it is really, really telegraphed. Like, it is not subtle about this stuff at all, which I imagine might bother some people. But, you know, it works for me. It works quite well. It works quite well for me. So, alright. Man, did I just criticize the movie a bunch when I was trying to praise it? I'm sorry if that's how it came off. So, yes, movies at its best when it's Sonic, when it's just Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and also when Tom is with Sonic. That's also very good. So, I guess at this point all we can really talk about is the future of things, huh? Well, I do want to write a Sonic Stadium article on where I hope the universe goes. Like, that's one of the reasons why I went out of my way to see it as early as I could. Was so I could do some write-ups on it. And in terms of where I'd like to see the universe go. So, obviously, Sonic 3 is going to be a Shadow the Hedgehog vehicle. It's going to be a Shadow the Hedgehog thing. I've already speculated on how, like, it could work on how Shadow's story could work. But, like, I really do hope that they don't, like, even bother killing Shadow off in the third movie, because he is going to stick around, and he should stick around. Because you know what I want to see? I want to see a Team Dark movie. Or series. Movie or series. I want to see a series that is like Shadow, Omega, and Rouge dealing with Black Doom on a space adventure, also with a human guy, I guess, because you know you need to have a human guy to save on the money, so that you can like spend some extended sequences without the expensive CG characters. And so yes, a like, I don't know, like a human soldier. Like, you know what? They won't do this because, you know, they haven't referenced other human characters from other Sonic bits in this yet. But you know what they can do is they could basically like just introduce a character like Topaz. So like, you know, well, let's be honest. They're not going to have a gay romance subplot in a Sonic movie. As much as I also like, I do kind of. I know that Dustin on Twitter, he really likes the whole Rouge Topaz thing, and yeah, like I could see that working. I could see that working. They've got probably one of the most interesting human Mobian relationships in Sonic X. So I can see that working, and I'll definitely like to see something like that for in a Team Dark movie/TV series. So like, you know, Team Dark, they have a great dynamic. They've got great chemistry, and Rouge is almost certainly going to be introduced in the next movie. So all they'd really have to do in a series/movie is introduce Omega and the human character. So, you know, perfect. Man, my throat is getting sore. I think I need to switch over to another game. now. Ugh. Okay, I need to sit for a minute. Yeah, let's see, what time is it? 11:22. How long have I been running this stream? Because I do want to talk more about the future, but I do think I need a brief break. And let's see. I am not seeing a time listed here. Okay, let's see. Well, I think it's been. Let's see, I started at. Dang it! I gotta check something. I think I've been going at this for almost an hour and a half now. At least an hour and 10 minutes. All right. I'm quitting, and I want to move over to Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast. But first, let's just find something else to run while I just take a moment to catch my breath. Which means back to the videos, I guess. Oh, right. Sorry. Sorry, Sonic. I know you're waiting. How about this? Alright, enjoy, guys. Yeah, I know, this is very unprofessional of me, just like playing a video like while I'm taking a break. But my throat needs a rest. Alright. Alright, I think I'll run two more things, and then I'm going to head over to Sonic Adventure 2. The other thing's going to be... Oh, whoops. Not that. Didn't mean to click that. Oh no, I think I might actually have to pee. Alright, yeah. I guess I'll be doing that instead. Whew. Ah. Now, if Jim Carrey did this, I'd be a fan. Ah. And then Sonic wins in a second part that is never produced. Alright. I should have, see, do I want to run any of these? Let's run this one. Let's end this segment of our of the night with a Sonic 2 commercial. Oh, Hello, Tails. Ooh. Yeah, I've never seen this one before. Neat. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Welcome to Sonic Land. Mega Drive から世界へ向けて。You know what? Tonight would not be complete if I didn't do one more thing in Sonic 3 Knuckles. And that is play through one of the best sequences in classic Sonic, which is the fight between Sonic and Knuckles, followed by Sky Sanctuary, and Metal Sonic, because Metal Sonic should have been in this. In the movie, I mean. Okay, so I guess pulled up the old level select code. Oh man, I miss the days when I could just skip cutscenes. I mean, sorry. I'm so glad we can skip. I did not miss the days when we could not skip cutscenes, is what I should have said. Alright, so. This, back in the day, I would, carry a camera bag with a Sega Nomad, a few Genesis games, including Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and a printed out sheets of level select codes from GameWinners.com. Now I'm on IGN right now. I'm not even sure if Game Winners is still around. But okay, so up 2, down 2, up 2, 3, 4. Oh wait. Unless this doesn't work on... I hadn't considered that. Huh. Okay, let's see. I forgot. And I don't think I've ever actually done this on Sonic Jam before. It might not be possible because part of the level select code is... is pressing start in A. Let's see. Jump onto it, and while your characters press pause and press A, the game should restart. Well, that is not what happened. Maybe I just need to. You know what? Let's do this again. Okay. No, Alexa, stop. Boy, that was weird. Okay, so let's see. Left, right, up. Press pause. Restart game. Okay. Now then, if this... Yeah, sound test! I think that's it. There we are, okay. Alright, good. So I guess all I actually had to do was just restart it in Sonic Jam. So, Lava Reef Act 4. I forgot that's how they did Hidden Palace. So, in the movie, Sonic and Knuckles fight in basically Labyrinth Zone, which is, you know, also basically the Emerald Shrine. Oh, and by the way, by the end of the movie, for those of you who don't know, although while you're watching, but I love how the Emerald Shrine is by the end of the movie. It's basically just like they were just keeping the emerald in a cooler. I appreciate that. I enjoy that. That is fun. And I do also enjoy how they were able to figure out how to basically get the entirety of the Emerald lore into a single thing. Because in my Sonic 3 and Knuckles thing, in my Sonic 2 article where I said they need to do these things, one of the things I said was use one emerald because that would be much easier. Because you only need one emerald, and that lets you escalate in the next movie. Oh, whoops. So I felt like one emerald's enough, but instead they combine all. They basically changed the emerald lore to where the Master Emerald is a oops. Knuckles got me. The Master Emerald is basically a container for the Chaos Emeralds, and that. I think this is one of the few times that Knuckles has ever beaten me. So that lets them have just a single, magical item to focus on, while still making it 7 Chaos Emeralds. And so that's cool, that's fun, I like that. And as near as I could tell, the Chaos Emeralds left, and, went up into the sky, and Knuckles, combined the Master Emerald into a single thing, back into a thing. And he could say, hey, my quest is complete. Yay. I guess that could qualify as an Easter egg. Yes, Knuckles can just, put the Master Emerald back together whenever he wants. Oh, wow, thanks, Tails. You beat Knuckles for me. Good job, dude. Oh no, Jim Carrey is stealing the Master Emerald! So, fun fact, his health is set to, I think, 999 or something, or 9,999, some ridiculously big number. So, that does technically make him impossible to beat, but if you, break the game, where you manage to actually hack it to get his health down to 0, I think that actually causes the whole thing to crash. But, I guess that does basically, end the game early, so it makes sense. But anyway. So, yeah, I like how they simplified the Emerald lore while still keeping everything. Because I was worried that the Master Emerald is just all there is, which, to me, seemed kind of... why even call it the Master Emerald if there are no Chaos Emeralds? And having it be a container for the Chaos Emeralds makes sense. So yeah, that's a smart bit of writing. I still would have preferred a single Emerald and no Supersonic, but whatever. Again, Supersonic was really cool. So that's I guess a minor complaint of I kind of wish we had spent more time on the classic game lore and made the second movie more of a direct Sonic 2 adaptation with heavy focus on Tails. But anyway, I keep going back to criticisms. I'm sorry. Let's see. What else? What else? I know I said I was going to talk about the future of Sonic, but then I remembered the future of the franchise. Then I remembered, oh hey, I actually have other things to talk about regarding the movie. So, Oh yeah. Like I really do enjoy like Sonic's just whole thing at the start of the movie. Like, you know, him being Blue Justice, him being like this really destructive, irresponsible person. Like, it really gets this kind of layout that, hey, Sonic had his heroic moments, but he's still a kid, he's still irresponsible, he still needs to grow. And in this movie, he does that. Like, it sets his character up rather perfectly, while still giving us a neat little action sequence at the start. Like, it shows us how Sonic is adjusting to this world and using his powers. So that's all super cool. I enjoy, like, Sonic just being alone in the house, eating junk food, talking to the, doing stuff with the dog. Like, he and the dog clearly gets, like, best friends. I enjoy what little bits we got of them. And, let's see. Yeah, like, it's kind of crazy. I only really started talking about Sonic now, like an hour and a half into the stream. I kind of wonder how many people just, like, got tired of all my criticisms and left. Like, okay, not like on the live stream, but like when this goes up on YouTube later. Kudos if you're still here. I'm sorry I didn't get to the point sooner. When it came to like, hey, you know what? Sonic is really good in this. Sonic is great in this. This is like one of my favorite Sonic characterizations. Like, it was really smart of them to start Sonic at the point of being a kid, because that gave him like a character arc to have, which frankly was not something I was expecting to get in these movies. And Sonic 2 does continue that rather effectively. Like, I don't know what the critics who are like wanting more Jim Carrey or more Tom are thinking. Like, Tom is cool, I like Tom, but I am so glad that we got like lots of we got like more Tails and Knuckles screen time at his expense. Like, the movie would have been worse if it was just more Sonic and Tom. And I am also glad that this didn't, like, you know, just kind of repeat the first movie. As well, a lot of bad sequels will tend to do is they will just look at what worked in the first movie and then just, like, do more of that. But thankfully, we didn't really get a road trip. We got, like, a proper little adventure. Although, that being said, I do hope that they figure out how to, like, minimize human characters further in future movies. Although, oddly enough, a Sonic Adventure 2 adaptation, that does actually... Whoops. Dang it. Oh man, game over. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna skip to the end now. Oh, I kinda thought it would start me off at the Supersonic thing. Oh well. In any case, what was I saying before I distracted myself? Oh yeah, like, admittedly, Sonic Adventure 2, that movie should actually be a little more amenable to human characters. But you also do need more CG characters, because in addition to Knuckles and Tails, you do need to have, at a minimum, Rouge, and of course we have Shadow coming. But, like, you know, the President, I imagine that the President is going to be a thing. I'm afraid he's going to be The Rock. That's a silly joke. I am so glad they didn't reference the Rock as President joke in the second movie. Like, I'm glad they at least, like, if they're going to do Rock as the President, at the very least, like, give us some space. Like, you know, because otherwise it just feels like they're running that joke into the ground. But, like, yeah, they could certainly, like, have the President do a few things. They can have Gunn do a few things. Although, man, how is Tom going to play into this? Admittedly, they kind of just wrote Tom out of a good chunk of this movie. Like, they ended up, like, when they need to do more of the human characters who weren't Jim Carrey, like I said, they used friggin' Natasha Rothwell. Okay, well anyway, since I'm not getting Supersonic fighting the Death Egg in space, I'm going to do this fight one more time. And then I'm going to move over to Sonic Adventure 2. Like I promised earlier. And I'll probably play that for about a half hour. And I'll talk about Sonic 3, and I will talk more about what I hope from the future of this franchise. Ow. So I'm going to give my throat one more break. So that I can do that, so I'm just going to play. One thing I used to do as a kid, I would go after the fingers on either side so that he would be flipping me off. I don't really have the patience for that tonight. But, oh man, yeah, that was a silly joke, I know, but he's flipping me off. Oh man. Oh, I'm gonna die. Ooh, more rings. Nope, too late. Okay, I think that'll do it. I'm looking forward to Jason's view on things. I might see if I can at least get him into the chat so that I can have someone to talk to. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I already have the Dreamcast on. So hopefully this is just be a matter of me switching consoles and then games. So be right back. Excellent! We've got Dreamcast. Might as well correct the date while I'm here. Whew. Oh boy, this is taking a minute to load. Okay, I should probably check the leveling real quick to make sure the Dreamcast isn't overpowering things. Let's see. Come on. No, I don't think so. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, no, I should probably reduce this a bit more. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna reduce this a bit more. Just to be safe. Alright, that's more like it. I'm gonna check the stream audio real quick. Okay, yeah, that was definitely overpowering. Okay, so let's see how it is now. I'm sorry I'm doing this on a stream like this, but okay, it's better, but I'm going to reduce it a bit more. Because I don't want to have to think about this again tonight. So, boom. Okay. That should do it. Anyway. So. Here is my wish list for Sonic 3, aka Sonic Adventure 2, the movie. Oops. 1, I want Knuckles, Sonic, and Tails to all be in it. I don't want anyone cut. Nobody. I want the whole gang there. In addition to that, yes, I do want Rouge. I do want Shadow. And I would very much like us to see more of Shadow's backstory, just kind of like directly. Like, one of my issues with this game is that certain things aren't made explicit, like why Shadow wants to blow up the world. Like instead of Professor Gerald, like it kind of just feels like he just kind of misremembers what Maria tells him. And as I understand it, no, like Gerald Robotnik programmed him to destroy the world. I want that to be made explicit in the movie. And honestly, I think it might almost be best if Maria, instead of being a person that he clearly remembers, I want his mind to be foggy. I want his memory of her to be foggy. And as he begins to remember... Or would it be better if he remembers her death and he's being driven by revenge, which I guess is basically what happens in this movie. Huh. You know what? That might... Well... But then it makes the whole heel turn of Maria didn't want this. Let's see. I don't know. Like, it makes sense to me what happened with Shadow. Because, like, oh man, I just remembered, we still don't have Amy Rose. We're getting Shadow before Amy. Which, you know, is just boo. 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 Man, where do you even put Amy Rose in something like this? See, that's why I didn't want Shadow yet. That's another reason I forgot that I mentioned earlier, is that, and like, I really want a movie with Amy Rose and with Knuckles Metal Sonic, but also like Amy Rose. Like, how do you fit Amy Rose in with a movie that already has Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, and Shadow, and presumably Rouge. That kind of begins to approach character overload, and on top of that, like, you know, like spending a lot of money on CG characters, that, or you're cramming them into fewer scenes so that you can spend more time on the humans who are very cheap to film. Probably another good reason to just replace Jim Carrey with an unknown. Okay, I kind of interrupted myself. But, alright, so Gun catching Sonic because they think he's Knuckles' Shadow, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. Instead, Gun should approach Sonic and say, hey, we've got this problem, like, you know, this guy who's like you, but like really powerful and probably evil, is out on the loose, and we need you to stop him. You're the only one who can. Because, I don't know, like, or like Gun just, okay, you know what? We don't even need that setup. Like, I just need Gun to not be the ones that bring Sonic into the plot, because they've already caught him once. We don't need a repeat of that. Oh, gosh darn it. Okay. Let's try this again. So, I want a movie... Yeah, we're just gonna have to not have Amy Rose. I'm sorry. Or Metal Sonic. No Amy Rose, no Metal Sonic. This has to be Shadow's movie. So, yeah. Sorry. But, alright. So, how should Maria's thing be handled? Because that is the core to Shadow's character. That is how he makes his heel turn. So, okay. How's this? Gerald Robotnik takes Shadow's memory of Maria dying and warps it so that he thinks that she wanted him to get revenge for her. And make no mistake, Maria better freaking die in that movie. She better die. Gerald Robotnik better be dead. There needs to be death here. Although it's not like the Sonic movies have been afraid of death, so. But okay. But anyway, so all right. So that's how that works. And like eventually, like Gerald Robotnik's programming breaks. It is revealed that he manipulated Shadow, and that's when he makes his heel turn to save the day, along with Sonic. And then he, man, I know I said Shadow shouldn't die, but man, how do you do Sonic Adventure 2 without Shadow dying? Huh. I don't know. Like, part of Shadow's whole thing is that he makes a big sacrifice at the end. Alright, I changed my mind. Shadow still has to fake die. Anyway, okay, so that needs to be Shadow's whole thing. Where, like, I guess, part of his character arc is just overcoming his program. Yeah, I still don't like that idea. Man. I don't know why this is so hard for me. I guess it's because I'm knowing Flynn. I'm going to need to do some thinking on this. That's not something I'm going to be able to brainstorm on a stream, unfortunately. At least not to my satisfaction. Okay, let's try this one more time. So, okay, so Rouge... Let's go over Rouge for a second. She needs to be working for Gun. Obviously. Like, she's going to be a double agent. She needs to, like, come into this and be a double agent. And it needs to, like, not, like, break the plot as much as Big Sonic Adventure 2. I would still like to see Robotnik. But, like I said earlier, I think this is the one Sonic story that doesn't really need him. Although, well, I guess, like, it would be cool to see him actually, like, have some sort of backstory with Gerald Robotnik and maybe even Maria. Alright, I'm running low on ideas for Sonic 3. I don't like any of my ideas so far, and this is, again, in part because I just didn't want this. But anyway, alright, so series. I already talked about Team Dark. But you know another series I really want? I really, really, really want? Like, this is the most gimme series or movie in the entire Sonic franchise. Next, Young Robotnik. No, I'm kidding, but seriously, I'd be surprised if that wasn't in development. But no, not Young Robotnik. The Chaotix. The Chaotix, they have a superb team dynamic. They have great chemistry. Like, out of all of the teams in Sonic, they are the best. And, you know, and like, in terms of like plot, they have their plot built in. They are detectives. So here's how this Chaotix thing would play out. This human teenager or child, like, they come to the Chaotix with a problem. And the Chaotix work with the human to solve this mystery or solve this problem that this person brought to them. And like, okay, to be fair, I suppose one of the issues with this is that we are going to have the Sonic characters on the planet like firmly established. Like, having Mobians on Earth just has to be a thing that is accepted for this to work. But like, the moment this works, like, yeah, so it's the Chaotix with their human friend, and they're like I don't know, helping goofily fight organized crime, and like they're like being like three walking disasters while doing it. Like, loads of comedy there, loads of potential there. Like, easy plot, easy gimme plot. And like, you know, Vector, SBO, and Charmy, they have that whole found family dynamic that these movies just love. And they could really expand on that. Like, if it's a TV series, they could like have episodes devoted to each of their backstories and how they came together as detectives. Presumably, I will assume space detectives, because it's established in this universe that the Sonic characters are explicitly aliens. So yeah, so like, you know, Rex itself, it's like it's a detective story, and it's a kid and their furry and their scaly animal companion story rolled into one. It works. And in addition to that, you know what? There really should be a Tails series. There just should be. Like, Tails already alludes to a backstory. You know what I'd like to see? I would like to see, some of that backstory. Some of Tails in his village being bullied and stuff, and like finding solace in, you know, like in Sonic, in Sonic being special and being a hero. Whoops. So, you know, so like we can dive into Tails' backstory, and we can have Tails have character development. Like, call it Tails' Adventure, and it kind of has his character arc from Sonic Adventure, except instead of dealing with Robotnik, he is dealing with the Battle Cuckoo Army or something. And I know that, like, in terms of plots, in terms of like CG, I'm asking for a lot of CG animals. Like, I don't know how humans would fit into this, but like something like that would be really cool. And, you know, finally give Tails the spotlight that he didn't get in this movie. Let's see. So, Team Dark, the Chaotix Detective Agency. Okay, so the Team Dark movie should just be called Shadow the Hedgehog. The Chaotix should be like the Chaotix Detective Agency, and we'll call the Tails thing Tails' Adventure. Alright, so those are like my three big Sonic movie ideas, Sonic spin-off ideas. I I would also love to see Blaze pop up in a future movie. But this would have to be a movie that shrinks the cast and primarily focuses on Blaze and Sonic. And also, I do think that Cream would need to be in the movie already. Ooh, an Amy Rose series with Cream and Blaze. Yes. Like, provided they give them the characterization they deserve, that is a dynamic that would work. Like, I don't think Amy could really necessarily carry a movie on her own. Although, to be fair, I don't really know what movie Amy would be. But, like, Amy, along with the Blaze Cream dynamic, yes. Yes. I don't know, I guess we'd call it, I don't know, Blaze the Cat. I don't know, I'm running out of name ideas. Okay, anything else? What else would I like to see from an expanding Sonic world? I don't know. I guess not much else. I know that we're getting a Knuckles series, and that will presumably go into his backstory and maybe reveal the fate of his people. Because, again, I kinda doubt that Longclaw just wiped out the last of the Echidnas, aside from Knuckles. But honestly, aside from Shadow and the Chaotix, honestly, I don't really think too many other characters can really hold their own in their own stories without like a significantly expanded casting universe like an Archie comic, like in the Archie comics or something. And of course, one risk of introducing too many characters is that you're going to start dealing with bloat. So yeah, I think that's about as far as I want the universe to go. And everyone else just needs to show up in the Sonic movies. Like, only. Like, I don't really think Silver the Hedgehog needs a series. I don't really even know what they do with a Silver the Hedgehog series, because, you know, his whole shtick is time travel. And, like, basically, like, the only way they can include, they've been able to include Silver in anything is like, hey, here's a, there's like a time thing that he needs to help with. So, I mean, I guess, you know what? Okay. Alright, I changed my mind. A Silver the Hedgehog TV series, miniseries, like Legends of Tomorrow, where Silver, along with a couple other characters, including presumably one or two humans, like, I don't know, like Silver, maybe like Silver and Blaze, is, people put them together because they do have good chemistry in the games. And so let's just say Silver, Blaze, and then two humans. Like Silver's got like time travel to fix something in his future. Yeah, that can work. And like Ernest Silver, like the way Ian Flynn writes him, he's a really good character, and I definitely think he could like carry his own story. So yeah, okay, all right. I've actually been trying to think of stuff for an article, like the kinds of spin-offs I want to see, and so like yeah, this actually helped me brainstorm that. Thank you, me. Thank you. I'm glad I was able to to talk to myself on this stream and come up with a solution to that, because like when I was trying to like imagine, okay, what spin-offs would I want to see before I saw the movie. It was like, okay, I know I'm almost certainly going to change my answer, but like, what spin-offs do I want to see? And one of those ideas was a Robotnik spin-off, simply because from a marketing perspective, it makes sense. Because, like, minimal CG, Jim Carrey vehicle, and hey, you could even do like a young Jim Carrey that could then spin off into something else. Because I wasn't kidding when I said, you know, young Robotnik. Like, that is an idea they could feasibly do. Like, Robotnik is a major character, and since he's a human, like, they could certainly do things with him. But anyway, but now that I've seen this movie, and I hate Jim Carrey even more as Robotnik, I don't want that anymore. I don't want to even entertain a Jim Carrey spin-off anymore. I'm done with him as Robotnik. So, yeah, alright. I definitely prefer what I've come up with. A Team Dark space adventure romp with Topaz or a Topaz-like character. I want their human companion to be a woman. And I want them to be like Topaz. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else? Is there anything else I'm forgetting? I actually have not been looking at my stream. Let's check the chat, see if I've missed anything. Okay, good. Oh wait. I mean, yeah, sure. Oh, okay. So Garcia, the Knuckles spin-off is coming out next year in 2023. No date beyond that. I'm crossing my fingers for spring or sooner. And, like, yeah, Tails, the Tails VTuber thing, I'm sure that's going to give us some backstory on stuff. I don't remember what this is in response to, because I've been talking for a while and not paying attention to the stream. But yeah, like, they've already used it to, develop one aspect of the world and establish some lore, so I'm sure that's going to be what one of the things they'll be using it for going forward. Okay, so to recap, we have we have a Shadow the Hedgehog space romp with Team Dark and a human character as a supporting cast. We have a Silver the Hedgehog time travel story. We have a Amy, Blaze, and Cream girl power adventure, which again I put them together not just because they're girls, but also because I think they'd have good chemistry. The Chaotix Detective Agency. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's everything. And I'm also canceling Young Robotnik. That is no longer an idea that I'm entertaining. So, I don't know. Is there anything y'all, like, is there any kind of spin-off y'all want to see, either as a TV series or a movie? I'm genuinely curious. Like, you know, I'm looking for ideas for my article about potential spin-offs, and I think I'm kind of tapped out now. Like, I really don't think anyone else could really carry anything. And there's a reason why most of these ideas are, like, team-based stuff. Really all of them are, I suppose. Aside from Tails. Like, Tails, I don't know. Give him a human buddy, give him Tika something, or I don't know. Okay, I need to adjust where my iPad is so I can see this chat properly. Ah. Oh, dang! Knuckles just got hit by a train. Oh, and then he died. Oh, Garcia, your son just got into Sonic stuff, huh? Yeah, like, one thing that is really fun to note about all of this is that Sonic is the most relevant he has been since the 90s. I don't think a lot of Sonic fans appreciate that. Like, kids are going to be all into Sonic stuff now. And that's probably going to last for at least a few years. Like, we've got a successful movie franchise. We have got we've got a major game coming out. We've got the Sonic Prime TV series, Paramount Plus TV series. We've got stuff coming. And all of that plus the merchandise is just going to be huge. And, like, I think that this is going to be the biggest influx of kids becoming Sonic fans since the 2000s at the very least. Like, the 2000s was when a lot of the current crop of adult Sonic fans got into it. Like, there was the big boom in the early 90s, and then there was the big boom in the early 2000s. And as far as I've heard, as I've noticed, like, there was not a big boom in the 2010s. Despite Sonic Boom. Okay, I'm gonna use this thing. But, like, I think that kids sleep... Okay, so in front of a grave. I think that, like, oh, excellent. But I think that, like, this is gonna be just gonna bring in a huge number of kids into the Sonic series. It's just gonna keep things relevant and going for a while. He's playing Rush on his iPad. Oh, you must mean Dash. Well, I hope that your son will eventually will enjoy these games. My personal recommendation is, if you like, you know, Sonic Mania, probably the best place to start. As much as Sonic Colors, that's a great place to start for 3D games for kids, I think, because it's challenging, but it's not like it's not too challenging. I think that is the perfect beginner Sonic game, which of course is one of the reasons why Takashi Iizuka said he was bringing it back. You know, like, it's a good beginner's game, and yeah, it is. And I know that Sonic Colors on the Switch has gotten a bad rap, but it really has improved a lot since the patches. I really wish Sega would bring games like Sonic Adventure 2 to it, though. Like, after Sonic Colors, Sonic Adventure 2 is probably the most accessible of the 3D Sonics. Like, Sonic Adventure 1... I really enjoy it, but that game is janky. That game is just janky. And I think it's probably, of all the 3D games I actually like, that's probably aged the worst. And of course, with Shadow with Shadow being in the next movie, hey, there we are. They absolutely have to re-release Sonic Adventure 2. They need to. They have to. On modern platforms. They've got to do that. There we go. Four. He's 4, huh? Yeah. Like, I'm glad to hear he's into it. So, in terms of he's seeing someone put up on YouTube, do you mean like news? Anyway, I'm glad that Sonic Stadium is on your alerts. That's cool. Oh man, this is why we need Jim Carrey. I'm sorry. Sorry. This is why we need Robotnik, who is not Jim Carrey. Because we need Robotnik to do this whole thing, activate the Ark, and then blow up the moon. We need all of that translate directly into Sonic 3. Exactly. Like, man, I'm just imagining this sequence given like a movie budget, and man, they better do it. They better freaking do it, man. They better freaking do it. Oh yeah, okay. So seeing news up on YouTube. Yeah. Unfortunately, like, Sonic Stadium doesn't really have a YouTube person. Like, I tried getting something like that going on here, but we ended up just doubling down on Twitch, which is fine. It's fine. But you know, like if you want to expose your kid to other Sonic stuff, from someone who doesn't curse, my buddy Chris, he does run almost every Sonic, and he is doing some Sonic Adventure stuff right now. I think he did the Tails and Knuckles stories last week. Yeah, last week, and that stuff does eventually go up on YouTube. So I don't know. Keep an eye out for that stuff, I guess. Yeah, I feel bad. I'm basically shilling our stuff to a father and his 4-year-old. Sorry. That suddenly felt really awkward. Okay. Oh man, and Tails absolutely has to have this. Well, I'm glad you loved it, Dolius. If you want my opinions, which was that it was good, but I hated Jim Carrey, I did not like Natasha Rothwell's whole thing, and I wanted more Tails. But I still really enjoyed Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles overall, which makes the movie still good. Like, I give it a good 7.5, I think. Sorry. Like, you know, just check the beginning of the stream sometime. It's gonna be going up on YouTube eventually, like probably tonight or tomorrow. But anyway, I'm glad to hear that you loved it. I assume, Dolius, that you really liked that Shadow cameo at the end. I have to say, I don't know if I expressed how much I don't remember if I expressed just how good his design is. God damn it, that is a good design. That is just such a good design. I need to find that the leaked version of the after credits so that I can just stare at it for a while and take it all in. That is the one thing I wish I could have done in that movie, was just stare at it for a minute. Ah! Oh, lighthead. Alright, well. I do think I need to play some Shadow before I wrap things up. Because as I, just said, Shadow is the, he is the big character of the next game. Of the next movie. And I do hope that the success of these other Sonic characters is going to encourage Sega to actually, like, have other playable characters in Sonic again. Like, I really want Knuckles back, man. I want a playable Knuckles. There are things you can do with him. Come on, Sega, do it, please. Please, 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 please. Give me a Knuckles game, or a Knuckles gameplay in a Sonic game where scratches his butt, where Knuckles just I don't know, does like a puzzle platformer type deal where he like geeks to climb around and solve puzzles and stuff. Come on, Sega, do that for me. Do it, do it. Let me have my Knuckles puzzle platformer in a Sonic game. Yeah, a lot of the people in my theater also really like seeing Shadow. It was mostly kids in the movie, which was really good. That was really good because they are the future of the Sonic fan base. And of course, the Sonic movie is also a kids movie, and so I really want them to see it. And I wonder what happened to Shadow after this. Like, she shot him out in an escape pod. Did Gun just capture him later, or what? I definitely don't want the sequence to be just completely recreated. I want them just be all like, Maria gets shot, trying to save him, then he gets captured. Let's just do that. I will have my revenge! Alright. Time to blow up some military people and robots. Let's see, what else? You know, a shadow thing could also... Well, no. One, before I came up with the Team Dark Space Romp thing, my other idea for a shadow spin-off involved something along the lines of, like, Boba Fett, where they, like, just have Shadow do something while giving us focus on his backstory. But I really want Shadow's entire backstory to be resolved in the first movie. I guess I want to see all of it. I want to see this entire origin story, including, like, I don't know, whatever the heck's going on with the black aliens, if they're going to be in this in this franchise. Whoops. Like, I want us to get no Shadow's backstory, no weird I've forgotten my memory subplot introduced when he comes back. Just he comes, he figures out his backstory, gets his memories back, and then he comes back to life after he fake dies, and then he still has his memory, and he goes on said space romp adventure with Rouge and Omega and Human Lady. Anyway, I think once I'm done with this level, I'm gonna call it a night. Whoa, it's 12:30. Boy. Man, no wonder my throat feels like I have just been like just really sore. Sorry, I wanted to avoid any potentially. I was gonna say something else, but nah, I want to keep adding that kind of imagery. But my voice hurts, my throat hurts, and I'm tired. But you know, we needed to end this night properly with Shadow. God dang it! Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Oh, and so one of my wishes was that I really wanted Robotnik to have bad next Sonic 2. He did not. And so now I'm doubling down on this. I want Gun to have gun robots, and if Robotnik comes back, I want him to have the goofiest looking animal robots. I'm not kidding. We need that. Let that be how Robotnik is goofy in his plans and in his machines. And, like, you know what? Like, the gun robots, they don't look that different from Robotnik's robots. And so they, like, the gun robots could just be, like, an improved version of his designs, you know? Like, yes, we turned his generic Apple Pod things into Beetlebox, and we also made robots versions of them with legs. Yeah, that works. That works. I don't know. I'm tired of the white oh, dang it, of the white robots. Ah. Okay, come on, stay centered, stay centered. Yes, okay. I've actually never missed that spring before, that's new. I actually wasn't sure that you could, but apparently I managed to. But yeah, like, I'm getting tired. So, hopefully I can just beat this and call it a night. You know what else I'd love to see? I would love to see some other Sega movies. You know what would be cool? Nikes. A Nikes movie. A Nikes animated movie, specifically. Like, I don't want to know what live-action Nikes will look like. But give me Give me animated Nikes. Right now, Paramount. Do it. Do it. Do it. And let's see, also, you know what, Yakuza? That would make a good movie franchise. I'm a little surprised they haven't, like, they already have something like that in development, honestly. I know they did in Japan.
What?
But, you know, Hollywood needs to do a Yakuza like a dragon thing. Honestly, a Nike's film or anime has been on my wish list for decades, and with the Sonic movie franchise doing as well as it has, and with Nike's being kind of Sonic adjacent, this feels like the closest we've ever potentially gotten to a Nike's thing. Like it feels like it's slightly within the realm of possibility now, ever so slightly. Although, you know what else I really like is since we have a Shenmue anime running right now, you know what other Dreamcast game I'd love to see get an anime? Skies of Arcadia. We don't need a movie for that. Just give me an anime. A 52-episode Skies of Arcadia anime. Yes. Anyway, okay, we saw Shadow. My assumption is that he is going to steal the Master Emerald. And I don't know what happened to it after the Chaos Emeralds appeared to have left it, but I would imagine that he'll probably have to collect that stuff as well. Like, another thing I do find kind of funny is that they've kind of, instead of Knuckles just being the guardian of the Master Emerald, now like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are all just like sharing in the guardianship of that power. Which, yeah, that does make a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Like, why would you just have Knuckles do that? You know? Everyone do it. So now, like the Wachowskis they've got a furry blue sun, but they've got 3 furry suns. They've got Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, all of which have superpowers and could like demolish their home separately. And they've got this all-powerful gemstone that can basically make you a god. I think. Whatever the Master Emerald can do at this point. Because, again, I think that the Chaos Emeralds left and aren't inside the Master Emerald anymore, so I'm not really sure what the science behind that is. And yeah, let's have God damn it, not Jim Carrey. Let's have Robotnik. A real Robotnik riding around this mech. By the way. Alright, so how do I exit out of this? Nope. Alright. So, I guess there is one more thing I want to talk about before I end the night. And that is how Sonic Adventure fits into all this. So let's change games one more time. Feel free to leave. I know I'm tired. But okay, so one thing about this movie that makes me a little sad is that I don't know how Sonic Adventure 1 gets made after this. Because, like, you know, the Master Emerald was already shattered. There's no Chaos. There's no Tikal. And so, like, that, and, like, the Echidnas only just got wiped out. And so, which, by the way, I get why they did. Like, they had to make Knuckles a recent orphan because otherwise, like, the games have never bothered to explain where Knuckles came from. They just say he's the last. Which, you know, I don't really know how you make a story around that. So it was wise of them to do that. But, like, okay, so, like, where does Chaos fit into this? Because, like, you know, he's not the guardian of the Master Emerald, and he wasn't inside the Master Emerald. He seems to have no direct association to the Emeralds. And Tikal, if she is in the movie, would presumably just be a survivor of Knuckles' race, which actually would be pretty cool. Like, I would love to see Tikal in that context instead of just a ghost. But, man, okay. I guess what they could do is they could have, like, Chaos be, like, locked away by the owls or something. Like, okay, alright. Maybe, well, But this does already go into the Chaos Emerald's backstory, where, like, any Echidna warrior forged them all to the Master Emerald. Oh, wait a moment. But he had to have gotten the Chaos Emeralds from somewhere. And so maybe... I don't know, maybe, like, Chaos is just like an angry god that had the emerald stolen from it. Instead of it being wiped out, the Echidnas won. And, like, maybe, like, Chaos is just, like, trapped on some planet somewhere.
Let's get him.
And it is somehow unleashed by Dr. Robotnik. Like, okay, that's starting to sound a little bit like Sonic 2. But in fairness, like, Dr. Robotnik is working with other people all the time. The only difference is that in this one instance, he got to be the one who betrayed the other party instead of it being the other way around. So I guess it'd have to be like, my original idea was, hey, like, Sonic Adventure. So since we're bringing Knuckles into this, Sonic Adventure would be perfect for Sonic 3. Use Sonic 3 to bring in Amy Rose, Chaos. You don't need Big, but I don't know, maybe he could, like, play some minor role or whatever. But Amy Rose, Chaos, Tikal, and sort out whatever lore's going on with the Echidnas, and maybe also bring Metal Sonic into the mix. Like, that was my original idea for what Sonic 3 could be. Of course, it ended up not being the case. So, I guess it could still be Sonic 4, though, you know? Or heck, who knows? Maybe since we're getting a Knuckles series, maybe the Knuckles series is Sonic Adventure. Since that does deal with the Echidna backstory and the Chaos Emeralds and everything. And, like, bare minimum, if you're going to have Chaos, you're going to have to deal with what the Echidnas did. Because, yeah, so Chaos was the Guardian, the Echidnas beat it and locked it away. And, let's see. And it gets unleashed, let's just say it gets unleashed somehow. Like, I don't know, like, maybe Knuckles is exploring some ruins from his people and he accidentally unlocks it or something. I don't know. Like, that is easier than Robotnik finds Chaos and, like, just makes it his new partner. I like that idea a little more. Alright. And Tikal can, like, be a survivor who was just knowledgeable of Chaos and what happened to him, and she, like, offers, like, the sympathetic side of his story. You know, they were friends. They were, like, friends at one point. I don't know. Something like that is the only way I could really see it working. But I do want to see it. I really want to see a Sonic Adventure movie. So, here, I don't know, here's hoping that it's either the Knuckles series or Sonic 4. And by the way, no, I do not want a Big the Cat spinoff. No. Big the Cat's not funny anymore. Zaz is funny now. Zaz from the Deadly Six, he's the funny one. One of the weaknesses about the Sonic games, I suppose, is that Robotnik really is the core, one of the only villains. Like, yeah, Tails Adventure has a Battle Cuckoo army, and, like, Lost World has the Deadly Six, which no one likes unless Ian Flynn writes them. But on the whole, like, Sonic does not have much of a rogues gallery. And that was one of the things I really liked about Archie, by the way. He had a proper rogues gallery in Archie. Anyway, okay. I think that'll do it. I am, thank you for sitting around and watching me rant about the Sonic movie for, whoa, is that 3 hours? I don't know, at least 2.5 hours, somewhere around there. Man, I did not think I'd be able to go that long, but I did. So, thank you. Thank you for sticking around. If you are watching this on Twitch or YouTube after the fact, thank you for giving me your attention and hearing my opinion. I'm tempted to give you my Twitch handle, but I don't think Twitter handle, but I don't think I will, because if you disagree with me, I really don't want you flaming me. But, like, you know, I guess just, I don't know. You can leave comments on YouTube, at least. So, I guess, if you disagree with me, you can make your point on there. Or if you agree with me, you know, it's the same thing. But all I ask is that you guys be nice to the haters, and you haters be nice to the lovers. Let's all get along. This is, at the end of the day, this is just a movie. And there is no reason to get all angry about our disagreements. Me least of all, because, like, for me, it's like, you know, it was a good movie. A solid 7 or 8 out of 10. Somewhere in that range. It was a good movie with some flaws that I can articulate far more easily than the many, many positives that gets a score that high. So, I will probably be streaming at some point again, but you can expect to hear from Chris tomorrow at 7 p.m. where he will be returning with his almost every Sonic streams. He had to take a break on Tuesday due to personal matters. Hope you enjoyed the movie, or at least I hope you had like a fun time watching it, even if you hated it. I guess wish you all the best. And I will see you some other time. Peace out.